Okay, welcome to day 15. Today is crisscross. Okay, so what do you think of when I say crisscross? Like, let's just think about it. Do you think of crisscross applesauce when you were a kid and you were at school? Do you think of playing crisscross at school? Like, do you think about a crosswalk? Do you think about an X? I really want you to think. So much of language impacts how we think and then how we create. And so that's really fun. One of the things that I was thinking about when I was going to doodle this was I was going to create my very own crisscross, like this. And this is, just me freehanding it. Oh boy, this is what it is. I'm not going to get too worried about it. And I'm just going to do like a crisscross of some sort. Okay? That is a form of a crisscross. No judgment. Okay, everyone? And so when we're doing this crisscross, now this to me looks a little bit more like a constellation. When you look in the sky, you're like, oh, that's Orion's belt, or that's the Big Dipper. So maybe I want to play on the idea that this is a constellation. This is just how my brain works, people. All right, so I'm just going to connect the dots. I'm just going to come back in here. I'm just going to create these spaces. So fun. And then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do next. Now, because I have one task, my brain's like, okay, I can do that. I can connect those dots. That's cool. Because what happens is our brain is like always wanting to go to the future and wanting to see everything exactly how it's all going to look at once. But guess what? We don't always know and we can't always tell. So we need to think about that. Now that I have these dots, well, we used to, when we were kids, maybe even now, I don't know, but we play connect the dots. So maybe I will then divide up this space again, and maybe I'll bring it back over to here. And then I'll maybe create it over here, and then I'll come up to here. Oh, okay, now I have this new design. And so do I want to create some more designs in there? Do I want to have some fillers going in there? Do I want to create new spaces in here? Like, how does that look for me in creating these spaces? And so I've divided this up, and then do I just do some fills? And then if I wanted to continue that, so I'm just going to play around. How about that? So let's say I do some fun fills in here, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to connect everything with these arches. I already have my points where I'm going to go. I'm just creating these nice rounded arches. And now what am I going to do? Okay, do I want to straighten that out? So that's more, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. That's kind of cool. And then so when in doubt, like Angela Walters once said, when in doubt, just repeat. Okay, I can repeat that. Now, one of the things that I'm doing when I'm repeating it is that I'm keeping my spacing very consistent. Okay, so here, when I'm doing my repeats, I want to make sure that this width in between is going to be really similar. Now, let's say I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to do another repeat. So now I'm going to do about the same distance. So this is our spacing, super important. And then we're just going to come in here and we're just going to repeat it. And we're going to play with that intersection in here, that angle. Then we're going to open this up. Now, let's keep this going here. Now, do I then fill in this space with some pebbles? And now look what I've done. I've completely divided up the space. See, by even shading this in. And so now I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. Okay, so I'm creating this space in here. And I'm doing all this. And so now, what do I do next? So if I just want to keep building on this crisscross, so isn't this interesting? The theme is crisscross. This doesn't really necessarily look very crisscrossy, but it's kind of a cool design. And so just imagine what this would look like if I have different fills in there. So please play around with this, have fun. What does this crisscross, what does it evoke in your mind, and like where are you going to go with it? I cannot wait to see where you go, because that is not where I was thinking at the beginning. But isn't that fun that we can just like play around and just see what our brain is going to do? Okay, see you on day 16.